You've seen that TikTok where it asks if you would slap this child for millions or billions of dollars, and people are like, no, he's so cute, no we won't. Well, in our society, children are symbols of innocence. We can't possibly imagine a child doing horrible things. But in today's video, we'll be sharing 10 horrifying cases where a child was tried as an adult because of the nature of the crime, which by no means could be done by even a normal adult. So make sure you stick till the end. Number 10. Aaron Caffy kills entire family. Aaron Caffy, like any normal child, had a wish. She just wanted to go out with her boyfriend, James Wilkinson, but her parents didn't let her. In normal circumstances, the girl would just throw a tantrum at parents or maybe try to find a way to convince them. But Aaron did something no one else could imagine. She planned the murders of her entire family. And in March 2008, Aaron Caffey's boyfriend and his friend Wade attacked her family house in the morning. Her mother was killed instantly and her father was badly injured. Her two brothers, Matthew and Tyler, were murdered in gruesome ways. Matthew was shot in the head, while Wade and Wilkinson stabbed Tyler badly. They didn't even stop at that. They proceeded to also set fire to the house. All three that were involved were later charged with murder and all signed plea deals or pleaded guilty, receiving extended prison sentences. Number 9. Teenager Joshua Smith shoots his mother while she was sleeping. Growing up in Detroit, Joshua was hanging out with the local thugs to get that so-called street cred. His mother, Tamika Robinson, was a hard-working woman who wanted him to succeed in life. She was tired of him coming back at later hours of the night and therefore put a reasonable curfew on him, as any normal parent would. He had to be home before 11 p.m. and he was not allowed to hang out with the gangster kids anymore. He was also disallowed from bringing girls home. At this, Joshua rebelled and ran away from home. He later came back and cried in his room as any normal teenager would do. But what was not expected was him coming down at about 3 a.m. with a shotgun in his hands and shooting his mother several times while she slept on the couch. He then tried to escape in a car and was later caught by the police and tried for the murder. Number 8. Girl attacks father for cell phone. Today, teenagers are attached to their iPhones, iPads, and PS5s, but one can never imagine that it would get to this point of ridiculous. A 15-year-old teenage girl who was apparently too attached to her phone was disciplined by her father for something she had done bad. She was grounded and had her phone taken away from her. This is usually what happens to many modern teenagers, but what happened next will blow your mind. It turned out to be very different from what we could expect. In this case of punishment gone wrong, the teenage girl attacked her father with a hunting bow and wounded him horribly in the torso. Even after that, she showed no remorse. She didn't let him use a phone to call 911 and made him crawl to the neighbor's house to use a phone. She was later arrested and charged with first-degree assault. Number 7. 15-year-old kills adopted siblings. We all have heard of sibling fights, but this case is just ridiculous. Adopting 4 children was probably thought of as a good thing at the time, but the mother of these children would have never imagined that her only biological son of all would put an end to 2 of his adopted siblings. The arrested 15-year-old boy was the oldest and an honor student at his school, and so was trusted to take care of his siblings with their issues and needs. But unfortunately, the boy brutally stabbed his siblings to death one evening and left the house. Returning home, the mother found the corpse of her 4-year-old son and called the police to report that 2 other children, the 15-year-old and the 10-year-old, were missing. The 10-year-old was later found dead in the basement of the house, and the police caught the 15-year-old son in a nearby town later that same night. He was arrested for the homicide and was sent to a juvenile holding center. Number 6. Boy shoots mother over house chores. Alpha Munoz had given his girlfriend's son a .22 caliber gun and trained him to use it in cases of emergency. And this is like any normal father training his son for an emergency. But he probably never thought that the 12-year-old boy would be causing an emergency of his own. His mother, Sarah Madrid, was arguing with her son over the chores and left the house. Her son was angry because the mother had the audacity to ask him to do a few chores. Later, the very minute she came back, her son shot her and then handed the empty gun to his stepfather and tried to blame him for this horrendous crime. But then later, he was found guilty. 5. Boy kills father because of PlayStation. In Saudi Arabia, a 4-year-old child shot his father for not fulfilling the desire of a PlayStation 3. In this modern utopian country of Saudi Arabia, the boy asked his father to get a PS3 for him, but his father made this mistake and returned home without the PS3. The child, after expressing his disappointment like every 4-year-old child for a total of 1 minute, decided to jump right into the misery and, while his father was undressing, picked up his father's gun and shot him from behind. Number 4. Toddler shoots mother. Toddlers are known for several things, like sucking their thumbs or doing some random fun things. What they aren't known for is for shooting their mother. This 2-year-old Troy Bailey spotted a gun lying around in the house. Mistaking it for a toy, he picked it up and pointed it at his mother, Julia Bennett. And that is not the end of this tragedy. His father, Troy Bailey Sr., who owned the gun, couldn't explain whether his ex-girlfriend's suicide was true or false. He also lost custody of the child. Number 3. Entire family dies. A 13-year-old teenage girl was accused of murdering her entire family. And it turned out she had a lot of help from the much older 23-year-old boyfriend, Jeremy Steinke. On the night of the event, she called her boyfriend and told him that she wanted to kill her entire family because her mother had been mean to her. As she was only 13 at the time, Jeremy understood and came over. He then did the reasonable from their perspective, did the mature thing to do, and went right in with violence mode. Jeremy killed her mother first, then her father. The teenage girl then used a large knife to kill her 8-year-old brother. She then stole her mother's purse, withdrew all the money, and went away with her boyfriend in a trailer. She was later sentenced to 6 years in prison on 1 count of first-degree murder. 2. Edlington attempted murders. 2 brothers, around the age of 10 and 11, attacked 2 of the children who were also around the same ages in Edlington. The 2 victims were on a playground when the brother lured them away. They were then punched and kicked several times, assaulted with bricks, sticks, and glass, and burned with cigarettes. And one of the 2 victims was also sexually assaulted. When the 2 boys were found, they were initially assumed dead because of the severity of their injuries. The 2 brothers were arrested and they even said that they had stopped the assault only because their arms were hurting. Number 1. Nehemiah Griego kills family in Albuquerque. 15-year-old Nehemiah Griego shot his family in Albuquerque in January 2013. Griego loved guns and also loved to dress up in military clothes and walk around the house. He was homeschooled by his parents along with his siblings. But on one particular Sunday, according to his statement, his mother had annoyed him. In response, he picked up a gun and shot her in the head. He went down and showed the corpse to his brother, who, like any normal child, began to cry. Nehemiah then shot his brother as well, picked up an AR-15 rifle that was lying there, and shot his 2 sisters. When his father returned home, he was also shot down by him. Nehemiah was later arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 3 counts of child abuse leading to death. These incidents are spine-chilling, right?
Alright, man, so let's get straight into this, man. First off, Aaron Caffy. You lame as hell for that. You killing your parents like that. Of course, that was what the topic was gonna be. The thing is, though, why would you get 2 other individuals to come in there and murder your little baby brothers like that? That type of situation like that doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you kill these little kids like that? Because you're mad at your parents. Like, what do they have to do with anything? And then the fact that as soon as you guys get caught, you guys just snitch on each other immediately. It's like you guys don't even give 2 fucks. So whatever time y'all got, man, I'm pretty sure you deserved it. And our next one up, man, Josh Smith. First off, I gotta say, boy, you bogus for this, boy. You lame as hell, man. So you telling me you killed your mama over a curfew? A curfew? Curfew. That's in my Allen Iverson voice.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game.
But let me get this straight. You ain't got no bodies on the street. You trying to leave the house to go hang out with no bodies on the street. And then your mom is actually trying to save you from going to the same location that you just ended up at right now anyway. You new dudes. I'm trying to tell you new niggas. I'm trying to tell you new niggas. You got to figure this out, man. We got to figure this out. We got to come together because, like, you just don't understand it. Like, because your brain don't work the right way it need to work. That's why she was telling you stay your ass in the house before you make a dumb decision. And now look at you. Okay, man. Ink Tea Gang, man. And honestly, those are really the only 2 the ones I wanted to really speak on. I'm going to try to actually bring back an unpopular theory that people are probably going to try to persecute me about or tell me I'm wrong about, but sometimes kids are just born bad. Sometimes they're just born evil and shit. Like, You know what I'm saying? And you gotta spare the rod, or maybe that type of situations is what they're leading to. Like, that's just how it is. Like, sorry. They used to burn witches because of things like that. My theory, though. NT gang, man. There's 10 other streamers doing it like me, but...
Fuck that little 10. I'm maxed out.